So, I was today years old when I realized that Nicolas Cage is related to the great Francis Ford Coppola. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is directed by Tom Gore-Meekin, and it stars Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. Going into this film, all I really wanted it to be was a nice, fun piece of escapism. And honestly, this film delivered on those expectations. It really knows what it is, and that is a dumb, fun piece of escapism, but that's perfectly okay. That's kind of what you get when going into a Nicolas Cage film. That is, well, the ones that don't completely reject logic. I just love how meta this film is, and I don't usually say that. Most of the time when films try to go for meta humor, it comes across as very forced, but here it felt perfectly natural and perfectly in universe. This film embraces the fact that Nick Cage is a national treasure, and you know what? This joke never gets old. This shows you just how solid the screenplay is. If you're a Nicolas Cage fan, this film is an absolute must-watch. It's honestly just a love letter to his entire filmography and to the man himself, and this is communicated from beginning to end. This film actually has a lot of heart to it, and at the emotional core of this movie is the bromance between Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal's character named Javi. I love how this film makes you feel kind of indecisive about Javi. I mean, he's obviously a very shady character, but also at the same time, he has this endearing quality that you just can't avoid. There's a scene where our characters get high on acid, and I was legit tearing up due to how hard I was laughing. Every time these two are on screen, it is cinematic magic. Though if I had criticisms against this film, I would say that the action was very lackluster. And honestly, every time there was an action scene, I kind of wanted the film to stop and just get back to Nick and Javi, since their chemistry was just so on point. And also, during like the first 15-20 minutes of this film, I wasn't exactly feeling it, but after this point, I was hooked. Nicolas Cage actually does a really good job in this film. He gives a pretty solid performance, and I'm not saying that ironically. He does the Nick Cage thing, but here it really works. This film makes it very clear that he is currently a struggling actor, and mentally he just isn't all there. Like in the film adaptation, Nicolas Cage plays a twin version of himself, though this is clearly a figment of Nicolas Cage's imagination, and these scenes are excellent. I find it really cool that this is a film about filmmaking, and as an aspiring filmmaker, I find this film actually pretty inspiring. A common theme in this film is that the adventures you go on with your friends can be told best through the medium of film. Since this film is about screenwriting, it is relatively unknown if this film is set in reality or a heavily embellished reality. Honestly, you can go down a pretty deep rabbit hole with this subject. Though this film isn't about that, though. It's very clear that this film is about one thing, and that is the relationship between Nick and Javi. Overall, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is an absolute must-watch for all Nicolas Cage fans, and even if you're not a big Nick Cage fan, I would still highly recommend checking this out, you know, if you just want to kick back and watch a good flick. Overall, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent gets an A-. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my review of The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and if you did, make sure to give this video a like. And if you want more content like this, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell notification so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And shout out to Daryl Hall and the 2002 Honda Civic. Thanks for watching.